Good morning. I'm Sophie and I'm currently at Kecara Forest Retreat, Bentong, Malaysia. Today I'll continue sharing from the book by my guru, His Eminence the 25th Sam Tuku Rinpoche. And this is the book that I'll be reading from, The Living Buddha Within, Sam Rinpoche. I will start from page 89 on chapter 5, Avoiding the 10 Non-Virtuous Acts. This is a continuation from my previous sharing. And before that, let me go to a picture of a Buddha to share with you. And you can see a peaceful Buddha. And we will continue from page 89. Failing to satisfy our desires. We have countless desires, many of which cannot be fulfilled, and those that are fulfilled do not bring us any satisfaction, even though we hope they can. The sky is the limit. Many people are not even able to satisfy their modest desires, the basic necessities of life, such as adequate food, clothing, shelter, companionship, tolerable work, or some degree of personal freedom. Unfortunately, these basic needs or desires do not end there. Soon we need a car, a more luxurious home, a better paying job. A holiday at the seaside may be sufficient for now, but our expectations and desires can continually increase, and now we need expensive foreign holidays. Ambition and competitiveness are the common causes of dissatisfaction. The ambitious school child cannot rest comfortably until he or she comes out top of the class, or like some businessmen who aren't happy until he has made his fortune. Clearly, not everyone can come out on top. For one person to win, the other must lose. But even then, the winners are rarely satisfied for long. The ambition drives them on until they are too beaten, worn out, or dead. Another reason why we fail to satisfy our desires is that these desires are often contradictory. For example, we want both worldly success and a simple life. We want fame and at the same time privacy. We want delicious, fattening, rich foods and at the same time a slim figure. We want excitement and at the same time security. We are demanding in our ways, yet we still expect to be popular. All these are contradictions. We may wish for Dharma realizations and yet still covet a good reputation and material wealth. Our desire often involves other people, and this creates expectations. Many relationships break up because of unrealistic expectations and desires. We want everything our way and our way only, but we also want to be popular. This is contradictory. We see how our deluded mind tricks us and makes us do things that bring the opposite results. Everything brings opposite results. We want Dharma realizations. We want to have wisdom, good meditation. We want to have clairvoyance, but at the same time we covet a good reputation and material wealth. What we wish for and what we do are totally contradictory. We seek perfection, the perfect home, the perfect society, and the perfect partner. But perfections cannot be found in samsara. It cannot be found in existence because our existence is based on imperfect acts. Therefore, creating imperfect situations and environment, we constantly seek perfection, but we constantly meet up with imperfections. We can never let our guard down because we have created the karmic seed for the karma to experience imperfection. No real happiness or lasting peace can be achieved in samsara, in this existence. It cannot be. It is not possible for impure transient objects to provide the lasting joy that we seek. It contradicts. Ignorance is the fundamental cause of samsara, but worldly desires are the fuel that perpetuates it. Therefore, we need to reduce our worldly desires by recognizing our faults. We do not have to run out of our houses, not groomed, uncared for, naked into the rain, into the mountains to become unattached and become renunciates. That is illogical and extreme. We also should not indulge ourselves in the lap of luxury and comfort with all our material possessions in order to gain happiness. These are extremes. They cannot bring happiness. The only way to gain happiness is to realize that your mind has deluded and tricked you into believing that these things bring happiness, whereas actual happiness only comes about through the destruction of the delusions themselves, ignorance, hatred, and desire. When those delusions are rooted out and destroyed, then when you have possessions, when you have friends, when you have people, you don't get attached. You do not act out of attachment. You do not have hatred, and you will not act out of hatred. Then only can these objects be pleasant. All great beings have been renunciates. Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad have all been renunciates. They did not become renunciates because they were failures in business, or because they were low caste, or because they were unintelligent, but because they realized from the start that this transient, impermanent phenomenon, objects or things we grasp onto, do not bring happiness. Therefore, they have taught a doctrine according to the time, environment, culture, and situation to, in fact, root out these three delusions. When this thought arises clearly and definitely in our mind, we must meditate on it. The way to separate yourself from these delusions and this state of mind is to start thinking, contemplating, meditating, and analyzing the faults of these delusions and unhappiness. They have already brought you with a logical mind. A sane mind will clearly see these faults and will allow you to slowly release yourself and become detached to it. This is similar to someone who is an alcoholic who thinks and contemplates on the non-benefits of alcohol on his or her body and the disharmony of the family, wastage of money, time, and energy. Again and again they think about it and contemplate it. Finally and slowly they reduce their drinking step by step until finally they stop drinking. Later, even the smell of alcohol does not bother them anymore. The only way to get out of this suffering is a wholesome, undivided, sincere effort to root out these delusions. If these are not rooted out, then all the extensions of all these delusions, such as anger and fighting, disputes, jealousy, and the 10 non-virtuous acts of life, lying, divisive talk, abuse, idle gossip, killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, etc., will arise spontaneously. You commit it, and again, that karma is collected, stuffed in your mind, and then at the right situation in turn, that karma will turn into a certain type of suffering, as I have described earlier. It is very logical. So therefore, we need to fight our real enemies, to devote our time to the object of real and lasting happiness. We can have families. We do not have to become monks, nuns, celibates, hermits, or yogis. However, we must realize the state and the situation we are in and become mentally detached. We must mentally let go. It does not mean, goodbye, wife, I'm going to meditate and be detached. No, not that. By becoming mentally less attached to this phenomena, the 10 non-virtuous actions will not arise or become less, and therefore the negative results and sufferings decreases and is eventually annihilated. You must do it. You must start the battle. You must make the time for it. If you say you do not have the time, you have a business to run, commitments to keep, you have an engagement, well, if you do not do it now, you will miss out on these opportunities. Do not make the mistake of thinking it will be easy to be born in human form with the opportunities you have now, intact with the 5 senses, a healthy human body, a healthy intellect, in a good country such as this, with good food, a clean environment, with teachers and the doctrine. Again, what makes you think that you will come across this again? Do you have control over where you are going to take your new rebirth? If you are born into a situation that you cannot handle, what will you do? With that, I will end the sharing session for today, and I'll continue on for my next sharing session. So hopefully you contemplate the enormity of you having been reborn in this situation where you have everything quite perfectly. It's just that due to our own deluded mind that we are not satisfied and we do not find the happiness that we are seeking. So Rinpoche has shared the methods that we should take and that we can take. So continue to please share your time with me, and you'll find out more in my next sharing session. And before I end the session, I'd like to share with you the upcoming event. That is the Spiritual Saturdays that we have in Kechara Forest Retreat. And this is for the coming Saturday, which is on the 6th of July from 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. And as you can see, it starts at 9 a.m., which is a spring cleaning of Tara's abode, which Tara is a meal by contacting this number by WhatsApp 6017 965 9484, or you can email to retreat@kachara.com. And also there's a link that you can visit for the rest of the July activities, which is bit.ly/2 capital X small b capital T capital D capital Q and capital P. So just visit. If you're not able to come for this Saturday, you can always make your time for the next Saturday until the end of July. Then in August we'll come up with new programs. So with that, I will complete this session with a completion dedication in Tibetan. Jangjuk Sencho Rinpoche, Mage Panam Geishi, Gepanam Pame Payang, Gone Gondu Pewashu, Donito Rinpoche, Mage Panam Geishi, Gepanam Pame Payang, Gone Gondu Pewashu, Daso Juni Sapage Wadi, Tandantroa Gola Gampadang, Jepa Jesu no Santrapai, Tamping Imporin de Sa Se Sho, Gewa Kuntu Yandala Mandan, Dromi Chuki Pala non Chochi, Sadam Langi Yaterazone, Doje Changi Pangatus, Gewa Di, Yududa, Lamasang Yadrione, Drowa Chikamalupa, De Salago Pashu. Jogi ka pusung kapa josu nampa pewala geki sama siwada tungki malu sangwasho kadam sangi desenda drewa songi latene ge walo santrapai tanpa yoreva giushi ni modale sendele ni migu nyandale shi ni sintatu dele pa kuncu sungi jingilo kuncu sungi ngoduso kuncu sungi trasi sho jesu lama kusen rap tingching nam ka trini chochu ke pada lo sam tempe dromi sap songi droe musa takto ni giushi Gawe rawe kowe shinkam dem bendan dewa mali gyu ne cheren se wan ten sing get so shape shi de ba do den gyu shi hom tom pe ngot ro malu pa den den dala sau du so ko dan den pa long chat nam ke pa so shik shuk den sao. Thank you again for sharing your time with me, and I hope that you share your time again with me for the next session to find out what's the